This year's Dunhill Links Championship once again tested the shot-making skills and ball striking of the European Tour's top pros. The field battled it out over the old course at St Andrews as well as Carnoustie and Kings Barnes, and had to contend with some strong coastal winds. We asked two men who've mastered these conditions in winning both the Dunhill Links and the Open Championship, Paul Lawrie and Padraig Harrington, to explain how they deal with the strong and occasionally gusting winds which come with playing golf on a seaside links.
The wind on a links golf course, it's a much stronger wind than you would say necessarily get anywhere else because of the temperature and things like that, so it does have a bigger effect. So what you've got to worry about is the different directions.
The main challenge for us is when it's across. You know, obviously into or down, it's pretty easy to judge. I mean, you just know very early on how far the ball's going, you know, downwind and how little it's going into the wind. But it's obviously a difficult crosswind. Do you hold it in there? Do you draw it when it's left or right, or vice versa? Obviously, colder countries like this, it goes a little shorter in a crosswind and into than it does in a warm country when it's windy. So it's all part of the fun. It's my favourite form of golf when you get a little bit of breeze and you've got a bumper 5-iron 130 yards, which is normally a wedge. You know, I mean, that's where the feel comes in. That's what makes golf enjoyable.
Magnificent shot from Harrington. What an opener.
Clearly, you know, you've got to learn how to play wind shots, and even for us, I'm on tour 20 years, I've gone soft. You know, I'm used to the golf ball flying in the air, and you know, you get a little bit of wind in the States, the ball still goes through it. So you can see as much as, could be as much as, I was hitting shots there, as much as 40 yards in the difference from where it would go in nice weather to where it's going in this temperature. So yeah, big difference. Temperature and wind makes a big difference.
When it's really windy, then the yardage goes out the window. I mean, the yardage just doesn't really matter. It's just a number. You just still need to know what it's playing. Like if I've got 130 the pin and it's into a stiff breeze, I'll say to Stan, you know, what are you thinking it's playing? And he might say 155, and you hit a shot to that number. So the number's still relevant, but it's just when it gets really windy, it becomes feel. It becomes ball back in the stance, more club, less speed, bump it low.
If anybody tells me they can't hit a shot in the wind, I just say, well, you know, if you're going to hit a 4-iron 100 yards, it isn't going to get up in the wind no matter what. You mightn't have any control, so somewhere between your 4-iron and your 9-iron, you'll have a club that you can swing smooth enough, you feel that you have control, and it certainly won't get up in the wind. So I really would say to people, just practice a little bit. And most people get frustrated because when they do try it, it doesn't work first time. Practice a little bit trying to hit, you know, a 5-iron 140 yards, and that will not. If your 5-iron's only carrying 140 yards, there is no way it's going to spin up into the wind. It's be a physical impossibility to get spin on that. So, you know, there's lots of options out there that doesn't really require you changing, you know, ball position or anything like that. Just, you know, do a little bit of practice and experiment with, you know, the longer clubs, trying to hit it a shorter distance.
I grip down it a wee bit, I take more club and I put the ball a little bit further back in my stads, and I swing it softer. You know, that's what you've got to do. I mean, as soon as you hit it hard, it's going to go up. Speed equals spin with the golf ball. The harder you hit it, the higher it's going to go. So if you hit it softer, it's going to come out lower. So it's quite simple when you do it all the time, but obviously if you're an amateur golfer and it's not what you do all the time, then it's quite complicated. But I mean, we help them as much as we can, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are still going to go and hit it.